my name is Shelby, and this is the start of my garden. It is currently July 2026 right now as I'm recording this audio, and this video footage is actually from back in March. I wanted a linear timeline of what I've been doing to create this particular garden. I've been living in this house with my partner since January when we moved in. We bought it last year, and it's been great so far. Kind of feels surreal being a homeowner for the first time. And I knew that because we'd be staying in this house for quite some time, I had to get out of that renter's mindset where I just didn't want to do anything because I didn't want to put a lot of effort into a rental property where I would have to either take down everything that I installed and move it with me, or leave all of my hard work on that rental property. And so it was one of those mentalities that you don't want to get too attached to a place. You don't want to make it too personal, because the way that I want to make things personal is very much what you're seeing on the screen. I want something that is fairly permanent. I mean, this is not something that I would want to take with me if we ever moved houses again. This was kind of my alternative solution to buying one of those prefabricated metal raised beds, or trying to come up with a different way to make a raised bed. I thought about doing cinder blocks at first, and I thought, cinder blocks are individually, they're pretty cheap, but when you want to buy quite a few to make a raised bed, they are much more expensive than you originally think. And so it was more cost effective to do this particular way. I got these 4 cinder blocks that have notches cut into them. They are specifically to build raised garden beds, or even barriers, low walls. Then you put rebar in the center of those little cinder blocks and hammer it into the ground so that they stay square. The pine wooden planks are 8 foot by 6 inches by 1 inch. I bought 6 of them, and I had them rip down 2 of those boards into 4-foot planks. Total, the rebar, the blocks, and the planks of wood was about $120. So I think it was a pretty good bargain. Unfortunately, pine is not the best wood for this particular project, because it will deteriorate pretty quickly over time. Even though it is pressure treated, it will warp, which as of July, that particular plank has already really warped, and it'll deteriorate pretty fast. So I'll probably only get about 1 to 2 years out of these planks before I have to either replace them with more pine, or if I'm going to upgrade them with something like cedar, which is more resilient. It would last maybe about 8 to 10 years instead of the pine's 1 to 2 years. So this is the project. I mean, it feels like instant gratification because it came together so quickly, and I'm really pleased with it. Here is my wonderful husband, who is using his power tools to cut down 2 4-foot lengths of rebar in half. So I have 4 2-foot lengths in total, and those will be hammered into the center of those concrete blocks about 1 foot into the ground so that they sit flush with the concrete blocks in the corner to keep the bed from moving around. Putting the bed together was the easy part. Filling it up was the next process, which took a couple of weeks. I started out with some broken down cardboard boxes that I used to smother any grass or weeds at the bottom, and then I took a lot of prunings that from the trees that you can maybe see behind Goose. You can see a big pile next to him of all of the trimmings from these trees, and used it to create sort of a loose interpretation of a hugelkultur. After putting all the cuttings in the bottom, I had to fill in the gaps with something smaller. So in this case, I chose wood chip mulch because it was relatively inexpensive, but I had to leave the mulch in the bags until that wind died down because I was worried that they were going to fly out everywhere. So I completed all of this off of camera. I also found two 40-pound bags of pine pellets in the shed from when Goose was a puppy. The pellets filled a lot of that empty space in between the sticks and the mulch, and it will also expand into sawdust once it has soaked up enough water. Next, I bought 4 bags of raised bed soil that had some fertilizer in it that could feed my plants for about 3 months. In a perfect world, I would have gone with something a little better in quality, but this is what I could afford. I knew this was nowhere near enough to fill the bed for the rest of the way, but it was a start. And now the bed is officially halfway filled. This is definitely gotten bigger. Hard to see because there's a giant golden retriever in the way. Would you stop? Hey, leave it alone, please. We'll update. To continue filling this bed up, I found a website that sells 10-pound bricks of coconut coir that expand to about 20 gallons worth of material. This retains water fairly well, and in the dry Texas heat that I'm going to be getting in the summer, that was a priority. I added about 2 bricks worth of this in the bed and used the rest to fill up my grow bags. At this point, the bed was more than halfway full, but I still spent some more time putting in about 9 small bags of really cheap topsoil that I found on sale at my local hardware store. And I also added 2 40-pound bags of cow manure compost for some extra nutrients. And then I topped it all off with a layer of straw mulch with tack. It sticks to itself when it's wet. That's what this bag is, and it will make sure that the soil doesn't get all dried out and crispy before I'm ready to plant in it. Good morning. It's not Tuesday morning, it's Friday morning, but I finally, with the help of my wonderful husband, got my fence reestablished so now my dog can't get into the garden without my help. What are you doing? What are you doing? This asshole. Excuse you. My seedlings are enjoying their first morning outside. The tomatoes are doing really well, and the peppers are actually doing really well, but some other... my poor Rashad, that I'm gonna have to get that transplanted today. Let's see if I can prop it up. But I have some wild thyme and some lemon thyme. They had a very, very slow germination rate. My chamomile, I'm gonna have to separate those out. My parsley is finally coming up, which I didn't think I was going to get any parsley. And it's got little true leaves on them. That's definitely parsley. I've got 1 calendula. And then these are all alyssum. And then my cosmos, they got so leggy that they just dropped. And now they're
now they're doing this weird thing, but I'm going to plant, when I transplant them, I am going to transplant them and fill the soil up to about right there. So that way they have a little bit more structure. My marigolds, some of them are coming up. And then these are snapdragons. Some of these just pinched off and died, which is fine. But there's a little tiny snapdragon right there.
Now, during the process of filling up this bed, I also got a 6-pack of just wooden garden stakes, probably less than $10, and I wanted to do a little experiment on creating this teepee structure in order to have something that vining plants could climb up. I spent not a lot of money on this whole project, and it has evolved over time. So right here, I added more soil. This soil was either just regular topsoil or it was the leftover compost from the bed. As you can see, Goose is a big help determining what seeds I should plant. The first planting that I did in this structure was a mixture of flowers, and I tried out some dried beans from my kitchen just to see what would grow. But I'll be honest and say that I didn't do a whole lot of work to make sure that the seeds would germinate. The ground was compacted underneath. I didn't have enough soil the first time. Goose dug up some of the seeds. The compost I added later became hydrophobic. I wasted some cooler growing temperatures because I was just being silly and goofing around. And so eventually my husband kind of trenched out that entire ring around the stakes, and I filled it up with more coconut coir and some loose soil that I had kind of just got mixed in together, and old seeds got mixed together, so some weird things popped up. Eventually I mulched around it with chipped wood and then put some straw on top of it, and you can see it in some of the previous parts of the video. This has evolved into a whole experiment, and right now I have tomatoes growing in it actually, which I'm excited about, but none of them are fruiting yet, so that's disappointment.
But are you a happy dog? Are you a happy dog? Yes, that's a smile.
At this point, I had transplanted or up-potted the tomatoes that I had growing in those smaller cells, and I directly sowed these chili peppers into these larger pots. As you can see, most of them have germinated at least one plant, but some of them have two in there. And I was so excited about this. These were ready to go in my germination station. They were getting some sunlight in the mornings outside to harden off. And then disaster struck.
Somebody ate my peppers. You can see the little tiny, I don't even know if you can see it, but it's just a stump. And I think it was the cat. Either that or we have a mouse that ate all of my Korean pepper plants, but none of the alyssum and none of my poblanos. Also, my cosmos are dead. Now, I don't know how that happened. That's so disappointing. Oh. Well, at least I have these. I'm not talking to you. All right, well, I was going to take both trays to continue hardening them off. I guess I won't need to. Perfect.
March was a pretty busy month for me in getting everything set up. I wanted to have everything in place so that when the weather was right, I could actually go ahead and just plant the seeds, plant the seedlings, and I wouldn't really have to worry about rushing at the very end to get everything in place. I definitely splurged on these green stock vertical planters, but I did get them on sale and they were buy one, get one free. So I had one to use in the backyard, and then I did one on the front porch. These are both 3-tier green stock planters, and I don't think I would have bought them full price in any rate because I definitely love a sale, but you don't have to spend this much money on vertical planters. You can actually get some from the dollar store. I've seen strawberry planters that interlock and you can raise them up however many you want. I think that's a good budget way to get started, especially if you're not sure if you want to invest this much in gardening. I know that this is something that I want to do, so I was interested in investing. As you can see, I am growing lettuces in these for now before it gets too hot. These vertical planters definitely take quite a bit of soil to fill up as well. You can see me putting some extra nutrients in there. I put blood and bone meal in there. That's one of my preferred natural organic fertilizers. They're relatively inexpensive and they do a pretty good job of fertilizing everything that I've planted so far. I also wanted to do some stuff in the front yard. This is my front porch. As you can see, I have the other vertical planter up here. Eventually, I moved it to the backyard and took out everything that didn't grow in that vertical planter, didn't grow well in that vertical planter. And I transplanted some strawberry plants that I got from the store. And I really wanted to have both of the vertical planters in the backyard because I didn't want to have to go up front to the porch to get something out of one planter and then go to the backyard to get something out of the other planter. It just made sense for all of them to be in the backyard. But these planters, the short green ones that I'm actually fertilizing with blood and bone meal and planting blueberry bushes in, came with the house. They were already on the front porch when we moved, and waste not, want not. So I had 2 free planters. Now I did add some aluminum sulfate in this, and apparently that's not a good idea because my blueberry bushes right now in July are not doing that great. But I was very excited about the prospect of blueberries, and now I'm still trying to figure out how to keep them alive. The last parts of the garden that I got ready for planting were these 15-gallon grow bags. I have 5 of them total, but I only used 4. And you can see me putting blood and bone meal into a bunch of coconut coir so that I can grow potatoes. Now, these potatoes didn't do very well. I got the cheap brand from Walmart, and I don't know if it was the brand. I don't know if it was not enough nutrients that I put into the soil, or if it was just I don't know how to grow potatoes, but they didn't do very well. They got really nice and green and leafy, so it made me feel like I was doing something great, but spoiler alert, they were disappointing.
So these are the potatoes, and they're chitting themselves.
I planted a variety of colors, so I had reds, I had purples, I had some golds, and they were just so small. They didn't taste very good when I did cook them up, but I'm trying to be more positive about my failures and viewing them more as learning opportunities. It's really easy to beat yourself up, and I do this quite a lot, and I beat myself up for not being perfect the first time around. But with gardening, all this is a growing experience for myself as well. It's not just the plants, it's me growing as a person. So using these failures to try something different next year, see if something works better for me, maybe try a different brand, maybe try a different variety, maybe try a different growing method. There's so many different ways that I can fix my mistakes from last time. So this is the March garden. I placed some growing cages in the garden. These are going to be for my tomatoes and cucumbers. These are my little hummingbird feeders that I eventually got rid of because they were just filled with ants and flies. And I did end up having some lettuces growing out of those vertical stalks. I actually made a salad with one of those heads of lettuce, and it was very bitter. Maybe try a different variety next year. But I got the stakes in at the back of the bed. As you can see, those metal stakes, they are eventually going to become a trellis. They actually are a trellis right now in July, but I wanted some growing structures that would help support the plants. And this is a built-in structure that won't go anywhere. The cages at the other end of the bed are non-permanent, but this structure is definitely permanent. And I just used some wire cloth to create a trellis. I got my compost heap all chicken wired up to keep the dog out. Famous last words, because surprise, he got in. And then I put chicken wire over the potatoes because Goose also dug those up. So I've been goose-proofing the entire garden at some point or another. And with all of that, this is the March garden. I may have a small and not very exciting garden right now, but I knew that I would have to start slow. If I had gone full throttle the way I normally do when I start projects and put all the beds I wanted in all at once, I would have burned myself out and lost interest in this project. This is not going to be the self-sustaining kitchen garden of my dreams for quite some time, so I have to remind myself that that's okay. I'm learning what works for me on a smaller scale and developing habits and routines that will make taking care of a larger garden possible in the future. I get excited when I see a sprout pushing its way through the soil, knowing that I helped make that happen. I'm practicing resilience by showing up every day to put my hands in some dirt or resetting something Goose destroyed. I hope this inspires someone to buy a packet of seeds just to see what you're capable of growing. Maybe it's a flower or a tomato, or maybe you're the one that grows. That's all from me for now, so be safe and kind, and I'll see you next time.